We are taking you live to Sharonville, where if you can see just by a bit of the contrast that things are still looking a bit gray out there. Roads are slick and this rain has just been pounding the tri-state all day. We're checking in with Chief Meteorologist Steve Raleigh with a lot of green on the screen. When is this going to end, Steve? New road rules are decreasing crashes in Ohio. It's been about 5 months since new laws cracking down on distracted driving took effect. WCPO 9 News reporter Shonda Lancey shows us a multi-pronged approach to road safety is saving lives. Ohio lawmakers want to prevent construction worker deaths by upping the penalty for driving recklessly in work zones. ODOT says they've already had 34 crews hit in the first 2 months of 2024 alone. Compare that to 2023, where there were 56 accidents. Last year also had over 4,000 crashes in work zones overall. If passed into law, House Bill 429 would tack on hundreds of dollars in fines on top of existing laws. It's sponsored by GOP State Representative Mark Johnson, who says it's all about saving lives. But not everyone is convinced it will be enough to deter drivers. The bill also expands the definition of a construction zone to include any street or highway that is under, quote, construction, reconstruction, resurfacing, or any other work of a repair or maintenance nature, including public utility work. The offense has to be backed up by 2 witnesses or caught on camera. Additional fines start at $400 for a first offense, but can go up to $1,200 and a 1-year license suspension for repeat offenders. The city of Middletown officially parts ways with its police chief. Tonight, City Council approved an employment separation agreement. The chief has been on paid leave for over 2 months now. WCPO 9 News reporter Jessica Hart was at that meeting where residents had even more questions for council members. Today, a Cincinnati police officer pleaded not guilty to felony charges in court. Officer Timothy Lutz was arraigned this morning. He's accused of using police data systems to find contact information for a 19-year-old. Investigators say he sent that woman text messages. A grand jury indicted him on 2 counts of unauthorized use of the law enforcement automated data system. After entering his plea, a judge released him on his own recognizance. He's back in court on March 20th. Investigators say debt and desperation led a man to robbing a Lawrenceburg casino. Daniel Birdseye made his first court appearance on Tuesday. Prosecutors say he held multiple people up at Hollywood Casino at gunpoint and demanded cash. Birdseye was arrested outside the casino, and court documents report he told investigators he lost money that day. And a company filed a lawsuit against him in Hamilton County, alleging he owes more than $5,700. Surveillance images from Saturday night seem to show Birdseye holding multiple employees at gunpoint. Officials say he never pulled the trigger, but employees are shaken up nonetheless. One woman quit. She didn't want to speak on camera, but the prosecutor did. Birdseye faces a slew of charges, including kidnapping, armed robbery with a deadly weapon, criminal confinement, intimidation, and battery on public safety officials. If convicted, Birdseye faces decades in prison. A judge set a surety bond for him at $1 million and a cash bond of $100,000. A bill aimed at expanding Kentucky's animal cruelty laws is one step closer to becoming law. The House passed it today, and if the Senate follows suit along with Governor Beshear, House Bill 258 would expand what, quote, torture of a dog or cat means in the Commonwealth's legal code. Under the new definition, torture would include restraining an animal in a way that results in extreme pain, serious injury, or death. It would also mean harsher consequences for first-time offenders, upgrading the charge from a Class A misdemeanor to a Class D felony. The Department of Veterans Affairs says millions of U.S. veterans are now eligible for VA health care much earlier than anticipated. So we are going to have that QR code for you right at the bottom of your screen, and you can scan that with your phone for details. So this applies to veterans who served from the Vietnam War to modern day deployments. And starting today, if you've been exposed to toxins or other hazards during training or on active duty, you qualify for health care from the VA. Past minimum income qualifications do not apply here. All veterans are asked to go to va.gov/PACT, that's PACT, or you can call 1-800-MY-VA-411. You can also stop by the Cincinnati VA Medical Center and visit an enrollment specialist just inside the main entrance. It was a big day for Baden High School, holding an official groundbreaking ceremony for its new athletic complex. It will be the school's first ever sports stadium. The $15 million project has been years in the making, and in just 2 years, the school raised roughly 80% of the funding they needed to bring this dream to life. It's a big deal for staff and students alike because at this time, there's nowhere for teams to play a true home game. The school hopes to have the stadium completed in time for the start of the 2025 school year.